It is not quite Judgment Day in the Atlantic Division, but we're getting close. Week 10 in the Simulation Football League takes us to the Atlantic. The Charleston, South Carolina natives getting set for their Predators to do battle today against the cross-state rival Florida Storm. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. It's Chris Curtis, it's Josh Circle, ready to go for Week 10. Josh, a matchup that becomes more and more crucial as the minutes tick on in this 16th SFL season.
Yeah, absolutely, Curtis. A great team matchup with playoff implications, but also a great quarterback matchup. Both of these quarterbacks, T.D. Drew for Charleston and, of course, Ron Cochran for Florida, each have threw for 4 touchdown passes last week. I think we might see some fireworks tonight. It's looking to be a great show as one or perhaps both of these teams start to etch their path to the playoffs.
If you take an over on like 75, you might be in good shape at this point. The way these two teams are playing offensively, we'll see how they do against each other. That could be the key, though, Josh. Which defense steps up in this contest in a very crucial Week 10 contest?
Yeah, I think Charleston's really got their work cut out for them as a defense. Florida, historically a great third down conversion team, no exception this year. They've been in the top 5 for quite some time, and you look at them now converting 58% of their third downs. That's third best in the league. Part of the reason they've been 7-2, Curtis, just having so much success, sustaining drives, scoring points. You're going to win a lot of games if you're able to do those things on a football field.
Saw a look there at Ron Cochran. Pretty sure he took his first SFL snap before I was born. But either way, we're just about ready to go with football in Charleston. It's the Storm in the aqua jerseys. It is the Predators in what looks like the black jerseys. We're ready for football. Hopefully you guys are too on this Sunday afternoon. Thanks for letting us into your homes on this SFL Sunday. We're ready to go. Football's on the tee, and Florida is going to get the ball first to start things out.
Curtis, I'm really excited to get my first look at the rookie, Charlie the Bullet Boletsky, a big part of why Florida's been so successful this season. And the rookie, I'm sure, has a few moves in store for Charleston today.
And gets the return out to the 23, does Jeff Como, and we're ready for football as Cochran comes back out on the field. You mentioned Boletsky. He's one of the backs that are on this Florida roster. J.W. Doyle, the veteran fullback for the Storm as well, is going to be in the cockpit ready to go. Cochran under center, going to be he's normally under center for Florida. 35 for 41 a week ago. He's under center on first down, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Left-hander throws. That's going to be to the right. Able to toe drag his way to a catch is the receiver, and that will work. It's Stephen Bush, his first grab.
Yeah, Stephen Bush, 77 targets on the season right now, leading the team, 19th overall in the SFL. This is a good way to get your offense started. Simple out route, a staple of the SFL, and already Cochran moving the ball forward here on this drive.
2nd and 6, 4 yards on that first down play. 2 to the right. 1 in the backfield. In the backfield is Boletsky. 7 in the box defensively. That is Boletsky. He's got the first carry. He's got a lot of room in front of him. He's going to get out to the 40 towards the sideline. He's got one man to beat, and he does not beat him down to the 20-yard line just inside the red zone. Great first carry for Mr. Boletsky.
And that is bad news for Charleston if you're not able to stop Boletsky. And look, you see him running down the field there, but nobody touched him until right there. Great blocking by that Florida Storm offensive line, Joseph Wade and Greg McDonaldson. The contract offensive lineman for this team doing a great job up front already.
That's a great way to do it. That was Josh Reese, the safety, who was able to catch him on the very end of that play. Under center is Cochran. Looks to throw. He's going to get it out to the right. Boletsky with the football. Not very much to that reception, but 3 yards is better than nothing. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Boletsky with a long run, and they go right back to him on the throw on the opposite side. Ron Cochran getting loosened up. Boletsky looks like he's in mid-game form already.
Lining up on the right of Cochran towards the sideline is Stephen Bush. He's the far out wide receiver. It'll be Boletsky through the middle, but he goes absolutely nowhere, and that is a good Charleston push up front that keeps him where he is. 3rd down coming.
And that's Tommy Zanardi on the tackle, Curtis. Back-to-back tackles for him. Had 4 last week. 3 TFLs on the season. And that one very close, if not in TFL territory there for Charleston.
3 to the right, 1 to the left, 4 wide. He's got Boletsky with him in the gun, does Cochran. 5 in the box defensively, a lot in coverage for Charleston. Looking to throw. Quick sling over the middle. That's a first down and more. Down to the 6-yard line, and Florida has him set up 1st and goal.
And that just cannot happen, Curtis. You're in a dime look. You got 6 defensive backs out there. And Jack Brown, look, I know you're a linebacker matched up against a wide receiver, but you've got to do better than that in pass coverage. You had a chance to get off the field and kill the drive. Instead, you let the receiver catch the ball, and it's 1st and goal, Florida.
Florida, real good drive to start out on the road. Split backs for Cochran. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Has the football. Handoff. Bletsky trying to run off tackle, and he doesn't quite get there, but he does get a yard. 2nd and goal to the 5.
I like the hurry up. Keep the defense on their toes or on their heels. Go back to Boletsky if I was them.
Cochran, right side, caught towards the end zone, but did he get it? He did. That's going to be a touchdown, and it is indeed Jeff Como who got it. First points on the board for the Storm.
I was advocating for the run, but hey, this works too. Como wide open there in the right flat. Catches down. Nobody touches him, so he's able to slide and break the plane to the goal line. That's a quick 6 for Florida, their first drive of the game, Curtis.
That's a good drive for Florida, starting out on the road in a very big game for them. The Atlantic Division very much still up for grabs in this Week 10. Florida can actually clinch the division with a win and a Jacksonville loss. So that gets them on the correct footing, at least to start things out. Extra point just about ready to go. Kick up and on the way. It is up and it is through. No issue there for Ethan Sneed. So Florida on the board, 7-0 as you take a look at those division standings, and exactly what we're talking about. A win and a Jacksonville loss will secure Florida the division title.
Yeah, Florida has got to watch out, though. Their only 2 losses of the season were actually to Sioux Falls and Lone Star, and both of those teams were 4th place teams coming into the week. Charleston right now in 4th place as well. They've been the victim of a couple of giant killings this season, Florida has been. They're going to have to make sure that they maintain the intensity and hang on to this 7-0 lead.
Return from the goal line gets to about the 23-yard line, and Charleston brings the football back out, and they will jump on to the offensive side. So a good-looking start for Florida's offense. We'll see if Charleston can keep it up with them. Keith Swearingen, the main back for T.D. Drew. The quarterback under center, 29 for 43 a week ago, 425 through the air, and those 4 touchdowns that you alluded to had 1 pick to go with it. He's under center on first down. Bunch to the right, including 1 man far out. Hand off Swearingen, trying to find a hole. He does. He's going to work it back inside, get a couple of yards, make it 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
And not to poke fun here, Curtis, but Swearingen has just equaled his output from the entire last week, and that blowout against San Diego had 1 carry for 4 yards. In this game right now, he is sitting on 1 carry for 4 yards. He may even double or triple what he did last week.
Yeah, 5 receptions, though, for 33. So he had 37 all-purpose yards, believe it or not. So at least there's that. 2nd and 6 for Charleston. Handoff Swearingen. He's already doubled up his carries. He's got a first down and more out to the 37-yard line. He had no first downs a week ago on the ground. He's got one here, and it will be 1st and 10.
And Curtis, when you look at these teams, they're very similar in terms of their offensive and defensive production. And you can see Swearingen here reading the blocks very well and getting to the 3rd level where a bevy of Florida defenders are taking him down. The difference for me has been Florida's 3rd down conversions on offense, and Charleston doing a nice job of moving the chains here. They're going to have to keep that up if they want to hang in this game.
He drew in the gun, has the football. A couple left-handers today. This will be to the outside to Swearingen. Going to try to break it before he gets back to the line. He couldn't do it, but it looks like Charleston likes their formation. They like the matchup. They're going to go no huddle here.
Kind of surprised to see both teams in a hurry up this early in the game.
Has the football. 3-step drop out of the gun. Looking to throw. He held onto the ball too long. He's going to get taken down. Huge loss on the play. Make it 3rd and a mile.
Florida ran the twist on the right side there, Curtis. Overloaded that right side of the offensive line, got home and got the sack.
Has the football again. Drew on the no huddle. He's going to put it right side. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but he's not going to get there. At least make it manageable. 4th and 10, and the Predators will punt. That's not what the doctor ordered for Charleston. They give up a touchdown on the opening drive, and they end up with what ultimately ends up a 3 and out on the following.
Yeah, and that's one of the perilous things about running a hurry up that early. You don't really get a chance to gauge what's happening. Your players don't really get a feel for the environment. And before you know it, you're trotting back to the sideline and you're watching the punt team come out.
Punt team out right now. Punter lined up at his own 22-yard line. He'll kick it from the 25. Kick up and over the logo. It'll land closer to about the 21. Gets taken down at the 22, and no further than that goes Jeff Como. So back out on the field comes Ron Cochran and company after a very successful and I'd even say mechanical first drive in this game, they come out trying to do better than that even and maybe get a 2-possession lead out of it.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with them so far. And really, they haven't gone to all of their weapons yet at this point. We saw a lot of Beletsky, and that big play really set up that touchdown. We'll see who's going to be the big play guy on this drive.
3 to the left in the bunch. Cochran to throw. They're going to go over the middle. That's a first down and more out to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Florida first play from scrimmage on that play, and they find their man.
And that is E.J. Minson, the third-year wide receiver. 62 targets on the season. That's third best on the team. Cochran likes to find him, and you will see a lot of those connections there like you just saw right in the middle of the field.
7 catches, 95 yards a week ago in the win. 2 to the right for Cochran. Has the football. Handoff. Beletsky has room. He's going to try to spin through a tackle. He's going to get taken down, though. Good discipline on the tackle. Open field through the middle. 2nd and 1.
And Curtis, you saw Charleston showing blitz there, and that's all well and good if you could spook the quarterback doing that. The downside is if the quarterback does get past the first level, there's nobody else left to tackle him except the safeties, and they were very fortunate they were able to do so there on that play.
2 to the right. Beletsky is the deep back again. 7 in the defensive box. Handoff. Beletsky going to try to work through the tackles again, and he does so. There really is not a part of the Charleston defensive line that he cannot go through right now. 1st and 10.
And the Charleston defensive line is really not looking terribly. You see, they get some penetration here. I think that's number 54, Joseph Saboka. They managed to break through the line. The problem was he couldn't disengage from his blocker in time. And Beletsky, who's done a great job of hitting the hole so far, manages to get his team another first down, and they're in plus territory here.
He's making a game out of getting to the second level. 2 to the right again for Cochran. Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Beletsky until they stop him. Cochran is going to go that way through the air this time. Has some room. Tries to spin through a tackle, but Charleston all over it on defense, trying to keep him down to the ground. That was a safety who came up, Josh Reese, and that is a 2nd and 3.
And you got to wonder why Reese, the safety, is making that tackle when there should have been a cornerback there. Beletsky, nothing but green pasture around him, catching that ball. The ball came behind him. Beletsky able to make the adjustment and still run upfield for a big gain on first down.
Split backs, 3rd and 3. Or 2nd and 3, sorry. Cochran to the outside, gets it to Beletsky again. He's going to get taken down off the sideline. Make it 3rd and 5. Chris Curtis and Josh Zirkle in the booth with you for this one. Have a bevy of statisticians. You got Jack Brown from the Predators in there, as well as Alan from the Predators, and then Cameron Irvine, producer and commissioner, in the broadcast booth with us. So huge thanks to everybody who makes this as good as it looks and makes us look as much smarter than we actually are. 3rd and 6. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. One of those 3 to the right, Stephen Bush. Looking to throw. Right side, trying to find the seam. It'll hit a Predator on the way through and fall to the turf. 4th down coming, and decision time for the Storm, likely going to be a punt.
Yeah, we could see right there, Marcus Agrippa, the punter, jogging onto the field right now. Charleston gets the stop that they needed in this game. Jack Hoffman on the coverage there. Jack Hoffman, 100 tackles on the season, hit that milestone last week. That's good for 2nd in the league. And the home team finally gets a chance to go back on offense.
Yeah, if they don't get pinned down first, this is going to be a kick that'll end up towards about the 10-yard line. Bounce to the 3, to the 2, and into the end zone. So unfortunate for the special teams unit for Florida. Thought they did everything right until it went into the paint. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Predators at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's really a great ball by Agrippa and a missed opportunity for Florida. You saw the Charleston punt returner actually getting a block in as the punt team was coming down to cover that ball. That might have been the difference between getting pinned, as you suggested, and the touchback, which puts them here on the 20.
1st and 10. Swearingen is the back. TD Drew under center. Has the football. 3-step drop, throws right. Nice short, quick pass will get them at least in rhythm. Make it 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard completion to Taylor.
And there's Jay Taylor, the tight end, who has not gotten a lot of volume this year, only 21 catches on the season. But to be honest, the comparison between Taylor and Lyric Da Vinci, the 3rd-year tight end, not that significant. The big difference is caught 11 balls last week. Right now, Jay Taylor at least is leading him in the category so far for this game.
Taylor had 10% of his season catches a week ago, had 2 of them. This will be a handoff. Swearingen going to try to work through the gun, and he's going to get taken down. He had a nice truck through that run as well, but nice work by the defender to hang on. So 3rd and 4 coming. It's at least a 3rd and manageable for Charleston, unlike the last drive where they were 3rd and 19.
Yeah, and you can open up the playbook a little bit here when you only need the 4 yards. Swearingen for 4 yards, I think is definitely in play. TD Drew is going to be definitely looking for the out routes. A little bit of a cushion from the Florida defense here. Let's see if Drew recognizes that and maybe makes an adjustment at the line.
They've also had some pretty good success. The crossing pattern so far. This will be a chance right side. Got the out route, but not close enough to the marker. And that's not what the doctor ordered Buchanan Simons with his first grab, but it's going to end up being 4th. And actually, they called it out of bounds as well. So nothing on it. 4th and 4, punt coming for Charleston.
Yeah, and you really have to put that one on Drew. I thought Buchanan Simons ran a good route. The ball was low in front of him. It's difficult to make that adjustment and then do the toe touch inbounds. You got to put that one on Drew, and Charleston punting again.
They're lined up at his own 10. Will kick it from about the 13. It's end over end for Como. Como has the football. Gets it to about the 40, the 41. And that brings us to this next drive for Florida. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. 1st and 10 for the Storm as they work their 3rd drive of the day. Had a touchdown on their first one, a punt on their second one. And Ron Cochran is under center. Handoff. Beletsky. Another carry for him. He's got a whole bunch so far. It'll be a 4-yard carry there. And there it is. It's a 6 carries and already not quite at the century mark, but getting closer.
Yeah, very close. And I think if this trend continues, he's going to have no problem hitting 100 or even 150 yards. Charlie Beletsky. We haven't talked a lot about Rookie of the Year, Curtis, with all the playoff hoopla going on. But that conversation, I think, has to start with Charlie Beletsky.
This is going to be through the middle. Beletsky again. He's going to get towards the first down marker, but not quite there. 3rd and very little. They're going to say inches, just shy of that first down marker.
And again, Beletsky just reading the blocks there. I mean, the offensive line doing a tremendous job. And it's not that Charleston is just getting blown off the ball. It's just that the offensive linemen are holding their blocks and Beletsky's making the adjustments mid-run. Pretty impressive thing to see.
Charleston crowd trying to get loud, will their team to a stop. 3rd and long, 3rd and short, and it's a first down for Beletsky. Although there is some laundry on the field, we'll see what that ends up being. Might be a free play regardless, so it might have been a first down, in the end anyway.
Regardless of the penalty, you've got to do a better job of containing Beletsky. Charleston's really going to be in trouble if they don't find a better outcome on some of these short yardage plays, whether in the middle of the field or at the sideline. You got to have an answer at some point for the short yardage.
It hasn't been working so far. We'll see if they can fix it. Still plenty of time at the moment. This will be 1st and 10 1st and 5. No, 1st and 10. They declined the penalty, took the first down. That's fine. 1st and 10 for Cochran. Bunch right, one to the left as well. Cochran to throw. 5-step drop, moves in the pocket, wings it over the middle. That's going to be caught inside the 30-yard line to the 28. And that is going to be another grab for E.J. Minson, his second.
And look at the protection. Cochran shuffles the feet a little bit, and that's only just to get the ball into the throwing lane. It hits Minson in stride. And Florida really firing on all cylinders early in the game here, Curtis.
Yeah, very, very good start for the Storm as they look to make something happen. 1st and 10 inside the 28-yard line. They are looking at a field goal at the very least for now. Looking to throw. In the pocket, moves up, throws a diving grab. Looked like that was a little bit long of the target, but it is incomplete, and Beletsky can't bring it in.
And they brought Doyle in, the fullback in the pro set, and they ran Doyle to the left and Beletsky to the right. And 57, that's Tommy Zanardi. He was not fooled. He was looking for that play from earlier and did a good job covering it right there and forcing the incomplete.
2nd and 10. Beletsky is the deep back here. See if they go his direction again. Hasn't quite been the same since Cochran started throwing again. Plenty in the defensive box as well. Maybe starting to plan for him. Cochran puts it over the middle. Quick, nice inside seam, and that'll be a 9-yard completion. Make it 3rd and very short at the 18-yard line.
And I don't know whether to give credit to Cochran or to debit the Charleston defense, but every ball that Cochran is throwing, his receiver is just sitting in a large swath of green area, not a lot of defenders around him. Very impressive early going here for Cochran in the first quarter.
Flat backs formation, 3rd and 1. inside the red zone for the second time today. Florida trying to get something going. 5-step drop, throw left side. That's caught, first down and more. Inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. And the Storm, again, move the chains. End of the first quarter, though, the Storm out in front, 7-0 on the road. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. Stay with us. Back in Charleston, South Carolina, Chris Curtis, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth with you. Charleston down 7, the home team is, to the Florida Storm. It's an Atlantic Division matchup that has a lot of repercussions throughout the playoff picture in the SFL, but the Atlantic Division obviously the most affected. Florida with a win and a Jacksonville loss later can clinch the Atlantic Division. And so they're up 7-0. They have enough points to win at this point. They're trying to tack on another possession score at this point, but the 3 yards there from Beletsky gets them closer. Not quite going to get the job done there.
Yeah, Charleston really needs a big stand here in the red zone to avoid going down 14-0. Even 10-0 here would be a semblance of a victory here. The short yardage been an issue for Charleston already on the defensive side. Charlie Beletsky just running wherever he wants to go at this point.
At the moment, Beletsky on pace for about 340 yards in this game. This will be split backs for the Storm. Handoff through the middle, trying to worm his way forward. He does get a decent yardage. 3rd and 3 after a 4-yard run, and they're getting closer. They can still get a first down.
And they've changed it up a little bit, Florida has here with the red zone offense. They bring Doyle in as a lead blocker for Beletsky, and you may think, oh, 4 yards, that's not a big deal, but that brings him into 3rd and medium, and that really opens up the playbook in terms of the things you can expect to see Florida run here.
Split backs, 3rd and 3, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Looking to throw to the outside, trying to get towards the pylon. Not gonna, did he get it? He did. They're gonna call, no, never mind. Sorry, that's at the 3-yard line. J.W. Doyle had it. He did step out of bounds. Looked like they called it at first. Not so much. 4th and inches as he's short of the first down marker.
And just short by an elephant's earlobe there, Curtis. And it looks like we're going to see a big decision here from Florida. With the way Beletsky's running, it'd be insane for them to not go for it at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them trying to snap this. Splitbacks formation is out there, bunched to the right. They've got a pretty tight offensive line at the moment. See if they do indeed snap this, or if they're going to try to get Charleston to commit the cardinal sin, and they do not. So Florida calls the timeout. They'll take the field goal attempt, it looks like, try to put a 2-possession game in front of the Predators.
And Ethan Snead has been very reliable so far this season, has only missed 1 field goal on the season in a SFL season 16 that's seen a lot of good kicking, not a lot of misses so far, Curtis.
Sure.
So going with Snead here A conservative play, but certainly not a negative play, is that you're almost guaranteed to get 3 points on the board from this distance.
1 for 1 a week ago. 52 yards is where that field goal was. So a good long one was the only time they called his name for anything other than extra points. 4th and inches turns into a field goal attempt. It's a chip shot 20 yards from here on the left hash. Snap good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up, and Ethan Sneed tacks on 3 more. The Florida Storm now up 10 rock on the Charleston Predators, and the Predators going to get the ball back, but definitely need to be looking at getting some kind of points, even if it's just a field goal to get back into this game. That should be the priority for Charleston.
Yeah, I'm almost disappointed to see Florida take their foot off the gas. We've been talking about how great Beletsky has been so far, but Ron Cochran, 10 of 12, 67 yards. His QBR is in triple digits comfortably at this point. The Florida offense, for them to pull up on 4th and inches like that, as a journalist, you want to be objective, but as a fan perspective, you want to see him go for it. You want to see him try and punch that in.
I would have loved to see him try to get that done, but either way, that's a return back the other way to the 20-yard line they go, and the Predators have themselves in business on the return and a new set of downs in front of them. So TD Drew back onto the field. He has not had a crazy good day so far in this contest, but it hasn't been bad. He's been, well, he's 3 for 4, and he's going to be 75% completion. There's not a lot of yards to go with it. This will be a handoff through the middle through the right side, for Swearingen. He's going to have 7 out to the 27.
Back to the hurry up for Charleston. Their wide receivers, McCarroll and Simons, neither one has a reception so far today.
Drew to throw. Moves in the pocket, throws on the run off his back foot, makes the completion happen. That's a great grab out to the 39. 1st and 10, they run it again.
Charleston just trying to mix it up, keep the Florida defense on their heels. So far, so good.
Swearingen, another handoff through the middle. He's going to get a couple of yards. He'll break through and get 5. 2nd and 5 out to the 44.
Swearingen so far 30 yards out of 5 carries. Might get it again here.
And that's another one. Swearingen trying to move to the right side. He's going to get a yard, no further than that. 3rd and 4 coming. And a crucial 3rd down here for Charleston. They'll huddle up.
A smart move by Charleston. You keep Florida, give them a little bit different look to what you were doing so far in the first quarter. You get Swearingen, you throw over the middle to Ken McCarroll, his first catch of the game. And Charleston now a little bit of mystery here on 3rd and 4.
And a lot of options here. This will be TD Drew. 7-step drop. Puts it deep over the middle of the field. It's tipped. And finally, oh, no, okay, incomplete. They did call it an incompletion. And that is going to be a defensive pat down as well. 4th down. Charleston looks like they're going to have to punt it away again.
Yeah, a little bit of volleyball broke up after that went off the fingertips of Lyric Da Vinci. 3 different Florida Storm players had a chance to pick that off. Neither one of them got their hands on it, but they are going to get the ball back here. And I'm remiss, Curtis, that we're pointing out just now that Wally Saddle is the name of Charleston's punter. We've seen Wally Saddle 3 times today, and we'll see if he can put one close and pin Florida back on this next drive.
See if Jeff Como deep can ride a return back the other way. Aha. Como has the football. Going to try to worm through the middle, and he will get out to the 23-yard line. So Cochran and company back out on to the field for this next drive. Let's see if they can get something going. Got to the other game just getting going here pretty quick. Jacksonville and Carolina hasn't quite started out yet in their first quarter, but that's going on over on the Simulation Football Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SimulationFL. Good time for a double feature if you got the capability on your screens. 1st and 10 for Florida. Looking to throw. Quick drop. Oh, the big takeaway there nearly, and that was a jumped route and nearly a pick 6 back the other way. What a play jumping the route for Josh Reese.
Josh Reese, only a 3rd-year free safety, but he plays like a 7 or 8-year veteran. He's just everywhere. In the run, the pass, 6 interceptions on the season. That puts him 15th on the SFL leaderboard. Just having an outstanding season. Really, the beginning of a fantastic career, as a matter of fact.
He's had a very, very good start. Nearly had a pick 6 back the other way to get Charleston back in it. Couldn't quite finish the job. Split backs, handoff. Beletsky trying to work his way through the middle. A 2-yard gain, not much to it. Get it to the 25 and no further.
And Jack Brown able to fill that hole. And you saw Beletsky, perhaps for the first time today, struggling to get through the blocking. And Jack Brown managed to come down and descend on that B gap on the right side and make the tackle.
3rd and 8. 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Cochran. Three-step drop, throws over the middle, tried to find a seam, and finally it's going to hit the ground. That was dangerous. It'll hit the turf harmlessly, and another punt upcoming here for Florida as they're going to give Charleston another chance.
And I think I was John Stamango, the rookie, on that pass defended there, Curtis. This is a guy who joined the team 1 month ago today, was his first game. Last week, had a pick six tackles, a big deflection there. Not bad for a guy that didn't join the league until week 6 of the regular season.
4th and 8. Punt upcoming, going to try to get Charleston put back deep in their own end, but they're going to need a hefty boot to do that. And they got a pretty good one. This will be returnable, but not very far, out to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for Charleston. Keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is or how you enjoy the broadcast each week with the hashtag #MakeAnImpact. Thanks for your support and viewership.
And a really good punt there from Florida, Curtis.
Yeah, believe it or not, actually, the SFL actually has a TikTok as well at Simulationfl, for those interested in that. Handoff, Swearingen, he's going to have some room to work through the right side. He'll get 9 yards and a 2nd and 1. We were talking about that punt. That's a nice long punt. It went 50 yards plus for that kick. That's a nice kick, and don't look now, but it sets up Charleston at a pretty disadvantageous field position spot.
Yeah, great punt, and very good punt coverage as well. Very small return there from Charleston.
2nd and 1 from the 35. Under center's TD Drew. Handoff, Swearingen again. He's got the first down and more. Going to try to get through 3 different Storm members. And 1st and 10 out to the 43. But they seem to be working it pretty well on the ground. And Swearingen adds another carry and decent yardage. He's up to 8 attempts for 48 yards unofficially.
And you could see some of the linemen getting to the second level and giving Swearingen some blocks downfield. That might be the biggest difference between what we're seeing between Swearingen and Charlie Boletsky, for Florida, is that Charleston's offensive line having to work a lot harder, but they are getting those blocks, and Swearingen's starting to get loose.
Your center. Chance for TD Drew to get it downfield, maybe. He will move up in the pocket, throw on the run. Another one that gets tipped and incomplete once more. That was nearly another dangerous ball, and Florida lets it hit the turf.
And Drew trying to get McCarrow in, it's not a great ball, not a great decision. The ball was behind him and below his probably about thigh or knee level. And you're not going to make that catch. It's a difficult catch when you're wide open. It's really even more difficult when you're in double coverage.
That was Eric Hammer who got the pat down on that particular pass. 2nd and 10 for the Predators. From the 43, Swearingen again trying to work the outside. He gets to bounce it out, and they will not give him a yard. Looked like he might have gotten it, but not quite. Make it 3rd and long either way. And Charleston in danger of again going 3 and out.
Yeah, they are. And the front 3 there, Dick Baker especially, got a great push in there. Dick Baker in the backfield, really disrupted by that run by Swearingen. Big reason why that went for a loss.
Smoka was in the area as well, 54. This will be a chance over the middle. That is going to be complete. 4th and 2. Didn't quite get enough to get the first down, and Charleston again will have to punt it away and give Florida back the football as we come to about halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, McCarrow was open and really just did not know where the sticks were, apparently. Managed to get the catch, got them into plus territory. And another opportunity here for Wally Saddle, the non-contract punter, to pin the Florida deep.
Wally Saddle with the high snap, handles it well, gets a good punt. Down inside the 20 to the 15 and returnable to the 19 does Jeff Como. And that will give the Storm back the football. So about normal field position there as Como pats the opposing special teams unit on the top of the head for a job well done and keeping him grounded for a bit as the Storm have a chance on offense to get it to now what could be a 3-possession game.
Yeah, don't look now. We're almost done with the second quarter here. The runs by both teams really taking a toll on the clock.
Two to the right, one to the left. Boletsky has to move to the outside, tries to spin, and Charleston's been on top of the spin move all day long as he has a couple of yards on top of that. 93 yards officially, but nothing much there.
And look who it is making the tackle, Curtis. It's Josh Reese coming down from that safety position to deliver some business to Boletsky. Between Reese and Tommy Zanardi, the linebacker, Charleston has done a better job here in the second quarter.
6 tackles so far for Reese. Handoff, Boletsky going to get through the hole. He'll get a couple of yards, but not many. And he'll get taken down 3rd and 5 at the 23. Sabotka with the tackle, and don't look now, but another potential 3 and out for the Storm as we've hit kind of an offensive lull for both of these teams. That over-under starting to come into a little bit of jeopardy.
Yeah, this is where Florida usually shines, on 3rd down. This is where they expect to get it done.
3 to the left, 1 to the right for Cochran. Has the football. Deep over the middle of the field. Got a catch down the seam in the middle of the field. 1st and 10 between the numbers. It'll be at the 42-yard line, and the Storm removing the football.
And that's a pair of young defenders, Corey Menner and Zach Lee, numbers 43 and 41. And Cochran just puts this thing on a rope. Look how tight that spiral is. And you could see hitting Como basically in stride. Neither defender knows what to do, and they lunge at him, grasping it air in hopes of making a touchdown-saving tackle, and they do. Very fortunate that Jeff Como wasn't just a little bit faster. What a great throw from Cochran.
Max Paul on the sideline, loving that. We'll see what they come up with 1st and 10. Split back formation for the Storm. Inside the 42, Boletsky again. He's going to get taken down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. And it looks like Charleston has adjusted to Boletsky for the most part. And that's something they needed to do as the defense has played much better.
And the linebackers converging at the point of attack. That was Jack Brown and Jack Hoffman. And both of those guys getting in on that tackle, Boletsky, to make it 2nd down.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. 2 in the backfield with Cochran. Has the football, 3 steps out of the gun, wings it again over the middle, tipped and intercepted. Back the other way comes Charleston on defense, and they're going to return it out to the 33-yard line. That is exactly what they needed. Talking about the Predators as they get Jack Brown, the linebacker, an interception on the tip.
Yeah, Cochran going back to the well here. It's almost the same route as before. And Reese is the one that gets a hand on it. Jack Brown runs under and has a little room to roam to make a return here. And Charleston gets a big break. And with 3 minutes left here in the first half, Curtis has a chance to put points on the board.
Yeah, not quite a 2-minute drill. That sets up TD Drew with some momentum going back the other way. Let's see if they can do something with it. 1st and 10 for Charleston at the 33-yard line. Swearingen is the deep back. You got 2 outside running routes. Drew has the football. 3 steps to the left, out route, and he's going to get out of bounds at about the 37. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And McCarroll getting involved here in the passing game. Florida giving the Charleston receivers a huge cushion on the flats on both sides, about 7 or 8 yards. To only get 4 yards on that pass play. A little bit disappointing for Charleston. You want to get McCarroll some volume here, but he's got to do a little better than that.
Got to get it downfield. He's usually doing better in the distance game as McCarroll. There's going to be a chance 2nd and 6. Looks to throw. Drew in the gun. Wings it deep right side. That one's caught. 1st down and no, it's incomplete. Sorry, it looked like he actually caught that. Didn't quite bring it down. Lyric Da Vinci had a shot at it, but couldn't stop it from hitting the turf.
Yeah, had a pretty good window there. TD Drew did. Found Da Vinci in the window with the safety over top and had a little bit of room to get that ball in there. But the defense converged in time, and it was a tough catch for Da Vinci to make. And ball is incomplete.
This will be a chance for Charleston. 3rd and 6. Looks to throw deep right direction. Not quite deep, but it will be a 1st down. 1st and 10 to the 45-yard line. Quick game update. Let's head back to SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Curtis. Gerald, Jacksonville possesses the ball for half the quarter and then does this.
As you see there, winding up, and they give the ball to Iggy Swift. And Iggy Swift, the foot gets in and puts Jacksonville ahead early in this ballgame, 6-0.
Carolina gets on the field first next. We know this game is important. Back to Curtis and Charleston.
Yes, we do. Both games in the Atlantic Division absolutely crucial at the moment. 2nd and 11 as that ball goes nowhere thanks to Swearingen, and the Florida defense stands up on that particular play. 2nd and 11 in a 10-0 game here in Florida. Jacksonville needs to win to stay alive, but they're up against it as Florida up by now 2 possessions at the moment in Charleston.
And Charleston still trying to get out of first gear on the offensive side. We've seen some good running out of Swearingen, 47 yards so far, but this offense not exactly where it wants to be.
That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. 120 seconds left to halftime. It's a 10-0 game in South Carolina. The Storm on top. Stay with us. It's the SFL on for the fans. Back inside Charleston, South Carolina. 10-0 lead for Florida, but Charleston does have the football. 2nd and 11. He drew back to action. He's going to put it over the middle. Not much to it, but he does get a simple 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and manageable. Jay Taylor, his 2nd catch.
There's Jay Taylor, who is sometimes the black sheep of this receiving corps. After watching Buchanan Simons and Ken McCarra and then Da Vinci after his 11 catches last week. And Taylor has 2 catches on the day and hopefully getting a few more.
To the left, 1 to the right, 3rd and 2. Hand off through the middle, Swearingen. Did he get there? Is the question. He did. They're going to give him the first down. New set of downs for Charleston, and that is a huge, huge measurement for the new set of chains for the Predators.
And that is good news for Charleston, even though time is ticking away here. They're about a first down or so away from putting points on the board. Amanda Moyer last week had a long field goal of 49, has a chance to hit from this distance again as well.
Swearingen again, going to try to work it through. Breaks through the defensive line, gets to the 40-yard line. It would be a 57-yarder from here, so they still need some help. Another one. This one slung over the right side. Caught, first down. What a quick play from Charleston out of the no huddle. That is perfectly done. 1st and 10.
Nice catch by Buchanan Simons. I would say that qualifies as help, Curtis.
This will be to the left. This is caught by Swearingen, moving the wrong way. Now turns it upfield, gets himself 3 yards, and gets down to the 31. 35 seconds left. He goes out of bounds, 36 on the clock, and he goes out of bounds to get that done. Coming up on the SFL Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Gerald Giudice break down the first half between the Storm and the Predators, provide an update on Jacksonville and Carolina, and get a more in-depth look at the life of today's guest co-host, Gerald Giudice. It's all coming up on the SFL Halftime Report. 2nd and 7. The throw. With a nice sidearm over the middle of the field. That is going to get them to 3rd and 2, and Charleston calls the timeout. Be interested to see what their thought process is. Do they try to go for the end zone once or twice before kicking the field goal? Because at this point, they're in range.
They are absolutely in range, and I would love to see them be a little more conservative here. No reason to do anything except keep handing it to Swearingen. You don't want to put it in the air. You don't want to risk a turnover. A field goal here makes it a 1-score game, and you've got them in your building. That's something else to think about as well.
3rd and a couple. See where they end up here. TD Drew, play action, right side. That one is tipped and incomplete. 4th down coming, and that's going to make the decision for him. I see a field goal in our future here.
Yeah, we see Moyer trotting onto the field, and I give TD Drew credit. You want to try and you have a little bit of time. If you convert that, you're looking at 25 seconds, and maybe a little bit more than that if you can get out of bounds for the next play. So why not take a shot at it? The problem is that's why you don't. It bobbled in the hands of 2 Florida Storm defenders. That's why you don't take a shot at that.
From 43 yards out, Moyer from the right hash. Snap is high, taken in well, and that is kicked up and away and through from 42 officially. Moyer gets the Predators on the board. 2 for 2 last week, 1 for 1 this week, as she will add 3 points and make it a 1-possession game.
And right now, I think if you're Charleston looking at this first half as a whole, you've got to be pretty thrilled that the way Charlie Boletsky ran up and down the field on you, and Ron Cochran, relatively little difficulty in terms of completing passes, that this is only a 1-score game. I feel like this Charleston on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, have a little bit more to offer than what we've seen out of them so far. I think if you're a Predators fan at this point, you got to be pretty thrilled with what you're seeing.
That'll work. So ball about to be in the air again. Give Florida back the football with about 24 seconds left to spare before the return starts. Como has it just inside the end zone. Brings it back out. Not much to it, out to the 24, and they'll have 19 seconds to work with, but still 2 timeouts.
And Ron Cochran needs, we talk about the quarterback situation here, and a lot of quarterbacks in this league, they throw a lot of touchdowns, so they throw a lot of interceptions as well. The interesting about this game, Cochran and TD Drew both, one of the 6 quarterbacks, 2 of 6, I should say, with more touchdowns than interceptions at this point in the season.
1st and 10. Cochran moves in the pocket, throws to the out. Oh, that was nearly dangerous. Just a dropped ball. Nothing J.W. Doyle can do but look at the ball disappointed like, and he'll try to get back in the huddle and see what's going on. 2nd and 10.
For the yardage you stand to gain here, this is an interesting call. The throw to Doyle. And again, we've seen the quarterback struggle with these screen routes. And that is a high ball. We've seen a lot of balls thrown behind the running backs. And that one with a defender close. Very fortunate for Ron Cochran. That wasn't intercepted.
2nd and 10. Out to the 22-yard line. Josh Reese, who's been all over the field. You get a good look at him there. Trying to make something work. 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line. Florida moving left to right on your screen. Cochran with the football. Pump fake. Throws right side and nearly a pick six of the other way. And that was a problem from the word go. Stamango nearly did what Reese did earlier to make that a play.
And last week, Curtis, Stamango had a pick six that looked almost exactly like that. He was on the other side of the field against San Diego, and they ran it 30, 40 yards right back to the house and nearly had a redo of that just a moment ago.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Stephen Bush, you're wide out to the right. Looking to throw, right? Oh, it's picked off! Charleston has it in business, and they've got a little bit of time. They may be able to get points out of this, believe it or not, at the end of the half.
And that is Zach Lee. Actually had 7 tackles, co-led the team in that. And Lee not doing anything special. Recognizes the slant route, jumps in front of it, and manages to get that ball. It could have been a better thrown ball if Cochran had put it more on the receiver. But Lee, as it stands right now, getting a chance to put points on the board for Charleston.
And looks like Charleston is going to bring out Moyer again. Amanda Moyer ready to kick another one from roughly the same spot, 43 yards, this time the left hash. See if she can get it to a 4-point game. Snap is good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through from 43. A match of 43-yard field goals for Amanda Moyer has Charleston within a touchdown to 4 points down. That is exactly what Charleston needed to get themselves some momentum going into the second half.
And now if you're Florida, you had a chance to celebrate a lead a little bit on the road somewhat, and now all you're going to be able to think about is that interception. And conversely, Charleston manages to pull within a touchdown. And I agree with the decision to kick it right away and send Moyer out. You don't want to take any chances there, not only with the time, but also with what happened in a very similar situation at the last drive, Curtis.
That is going to be a return for Como, getting it back to the 22 and no further than that. And that will get us to the halftime break. So the Storm up 10-6 now in a much more interesting contest in Charleston. We're going to head to the halftime break. A word from our sponsors at FTF, and then to the halftime report at SFL HQ we go to Cameron Irvine and Gerald Giudice. We'll see you in just a little bit.
And welcome to the SFL Halftime Report along with Gerald Giudice. I'm Cameron Irvine. A couple of critical games in the Atlantic Division going on right now, and both of them are one-score games. Gerald, let's start with Florida and Charleston. It was 10-0, all Florida. You mentioned that you might have been in need of a pillow, perhaps, and then all of a sudden, Charleston turned it up. They got some offense going. They got that late interception, and now it's a ball game.
Yeah, that interception proved really costly. Gets them 3 more points on the board. Gets them within a one-score game here at 10-6. I mean, Beletsky has been running roughshod over Charleston defense, almost 100 yards in the first half. Buchanan Simons, that's the big thing for me. Only 1 catch in the first half for 5 yards. So I think if Charleston wants to get back in this game, we really need to get him more involved in the offense.
Going over to Carolina, Jacksonville has the lead 14-7. That game is back and forth, very similar to Fort Worth and Mexico City. There's been 3 possessions and 3 scores in that game, although Carolina was unable to score on their 4th possession. But Jacksonville, the early lead, Carolina hanging around. What have you seen so far?
Jacksonville's come out and has played really well on both sides of the football, offense and defense. The special teams has played decent as well. And Carolina just threw an interception, so I think it's definitely right now Jacksonville coming into Carolina and really taking the crowd out of the game.
We'll keep an eye on those games as their second quarter progresses there over in Raleigh. But right now we want to get to learn a little bit more about Gerald Giudice, our guest host this week. He's got his Dart jersey on, and if you can't tell already, this guy is a Dart fanatic. Gerald, how'd you get into darts, and how often do you play, and what does it mean to you?
I got into darts. I was in a pool league, and then I was just throwing darts just on the side, and then I got into a dart league right before COVID hit, and it's a fun online. There's a fun online league. You played against people from other places, and with COVID, then it got shut down, and then I bought 2 boards that will let you play against people all over the world.
Oh wow,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah, if you play through either an app or on the app on the grand board, or through the Target Nexus, and it just was fun for me. I enjoyed it. It really took me away from gave me back the team aspect that I missed from bowling when I used to bowl a lot. So I got into it. It's fun. I got my friends involved, and we throw every night, usually every the week. So,
and I mean it's kind of like the dart or the SFL version of darts. It sounds. I mean, you get to compete with people, and you don't even have to leave your home.
Nope. With, like I said, for the dart league, we have to go to actually like a restaurant or a bar type area. But here, like behind the screen right there, I have my 2 dart boards, and you don't have to leave the home. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. I've played people from England, Germany, Japan, China.
Wow.
I'm actually part of two groups, one from the United States and one from the UK. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. You get to play everybody. Like I said, you get to do it from the comfort of your own home, which was good to do with all the pandemic and not being able to go anywhere because nothing was open.
And you've got a ton of ribbons on your jersey as well. Cancer's been a big part of your life, your family. What's that story like?
Well, but first, I loved. I'm a big sports fan, and the big thing for me that I watch every year is the speech that Jim Valvano gave. And when my mom first was diagnosed with cervical cancer, I had her watch that. And unfortunately, she passed in '06 with that. And then I've had like adopted moms I had from work pass away from breast cancer, and it's been the big part of my life. I mean, I've gotten a tattoo here that has the 4 different cancer ribbons on it with my mom's being uterine cancer, breast cancer, and stuff. I've done
And Jimmy V's quote.
the Jimmy Reese quote: "Don't give up, don't ever give up," and that's the big thing when I tell everybody that I know that know someone that has cancer or has cancer to watch that, because it's a really moving speech if you haven't seen it. So.
Now, does your lovely wife play darts with you, or does
No, she thinks she's too short to play darts, so that's that's fine. I mean, but that's another nice thing, because then I could just like go in my dart room and just away high. If she's watching her shows or something, or taking care of her mother or something like that. So it keeps me out of trouble more than anything.
that's what I tell my fiance as well. You know, you're lucky I got this league I spent all my time on. Who knows what kind of trouble I'd get into otherwise.
You know it.
You know, you have a short teammate too, Kendra Hall. You play on the defensive line for Vancouver. Got a big sack to get the win. You guys are now leading the division. What's it like been like in Vancouver? I know that you all are pretty tight over there as well.
Yeah, Andy, my fellow broadcast partner, got me over there, and it's a great locker room. It's a great bunch of guys and gals. I've talked with Kendra, I've talked with Ashley. It's just a really tight knit group of people over there. My fellow, we call ourselves the Mediterranean Connection, with Achilles Papatonis and myself. So we tried a sack yesterday, which is pretty good. I mean, I was just happy to make the play to seal the game for us for win. It's a great way to get to the division lead, and hopefully more things are good to come for Vancouver.
Well, of course, Gerald is usually in the analyst chair with Andy Hamilton. Boy, we are watching right now. Jacksonville is just putting the wood on Carolina. They just got a pick 6. They are up 27-7 over there. That game is getting out of hand with Carolina, but we'll keep an eye on both Atlantic Division games going on in the second half and send it back out to Curtis and Josh coming up here after the break. But, Gerald, good to have you here as the guest host. Mike St. Green will be back next week. Finally, his Houston Cougars are in the Elite Eight, trying to get to the Final Four, and we'll see what happens over there with that. But happy to have you here, Gerald, today.
Glad to be here.
Back to Curtis and Josh after this. You're watching the SFL on For the Fans, and this has been the SFL Halftime Report. We'll be right back.
second half. It is Florida 10, Charleston 6 after a late half field goal by Charleston after a quick interception. Got them to within 4 points. Chris Curtis, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth with you as we get ready to go for the second half of, and hopefully some more points to be scored. It looked like both offenses were really just kind of stalled out. This will be a return back the other way as this kick is away and returned to the 22-yard line. Out comes TD Drew and company, but before that, let's go back to SFL HQ for a quick game break.
Thanks, Curtis. Gerald, Mike St. Green may not be in the booth or today, or co-host chair, but he's doing stuff on the field.
Yeah, he's not here, and here's the reason why he's not here. He's taking that kickoff, busting a couple tackles. Once he gets past there, gets a great block. He is off to the races for his first return touchdown of the year.
That's a top 10 play, and Jacksonville's pouring it on, 28-7, back to Curtis and Charleston.
After you see that kick return with a lot of pizzazz, you all of a sudden see Swearingen get lit up in the backfield on a first down, 2nd and 11. And Jacksonville just made this game all that much more important to Florida, Mr. Zirkle, as now Florida really needs to win to try to keep pace and make sure they stay up in that Atlantic Division. Swearingen again, this time going to work his way forward and get 4 yards out of it.
And Florida doing a good job so far after a couple of early runs from Swearingen. Done a nice job of containing him so far, and he goes for 4 yards there, obviously. But the front line, the front three, Dominguez, Stoneville, and Tomello, excuse me. I need to make my spotter charts a little bigger.
This will be over the middle. That is incomplete. Very dangerous ball in between 3 defenders, and that is going to hit the turf. So 4th down, an immediate 3 and out from Charleston. That is worst case scenario for them, as it'll be a Florida ball here shortly.
Florida, again, I would say this about Charleston's defense as well. They've done a lot better job of containing Charlie Boletsky, but they've done it through unconventional means. I mean, Zanardi has come up and made plays. Josh Reese has been all over the field. And, of course, Jack Brown had the interception earlier in the game. This is not going to be a foregone conclusion, this next Florida drive. They're going to have to earn it on this drive.
You mentioned that interception. Again, that pat down, though, to Jack Brown was by Josh Reese. He's been all over the place so far. This will be a return from Jeff Como. He gets it back to the 39-yard line. He gets Florida back the football. And now the Storm have a chance to put some separation between them and their opponents. If they can get it back to an 11-point lead, I think it's going to be real detrimental to Charleston's chances.
Yeah, and they're starting with great field position here. That's always bad news for an opposing defense. Only 3 first downs, and Florida is looking at a field goal.
2 to the right for Cochran. 7 in the box defensively on the line for the Predators. This will be right side towards the sideline. It's caught, although the ball was behind the receiver and he couldn't quite turn it. And E.J. Minson has his 3rd grab. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And Johnny Bravo was the nearest cornerback on that coverage, and he was probably 10 yards away. We've seen a lot of cushion from both teams, and both teams have been taking advantage. We've seen a lot of those out routes. And the only thing that's been stopping them a lot of the times has been the accuracy of the quarterbacks, not so much the defense. 2nd
and 4. Now to the 45-yard line. In the backfield is going to be Boletsky. See what kind of effort he has for us in the second half. He's going to be trying to get through the first layer of the defensive line and will go absolutely nowhere. 3rd and 4 as he gets hit at the 45. Jack Brown comes up to make the hit.
And remember, Curtis, we saw in the first quarter where Charleston was showing blitz and Boletsky blew through the entire first level and got a big gain out of it. Didn't happen that time. Jack Brown able to get to Boletsky before he had a big gain. He's really stepped it up so far.
3rd and 4. Look at the throw. Gets it in Boletsky's hands. He's got some green in front of him. 1st down and more. Down the sideline he goes, trucks through 1, and gets taken out of bounds at the 36. They're in Charleston territory. Great gainer by Boletsky to get the ball moving forward.
Open there on the right side, gets a big block downfield. Is able to get some, I think it was Jay Taylor, the tight end. He's not catching a lot of balls, but he is making an impact in his own way. Tremendous block there to help spring Boletsky.
This will be 1st and 10. At the 36-yard line. Handoff Boletsky again. He's got green in front again. He's got a 2nd and inches. Looked like he might have had the 1st down, but they're going to call him short. and does a little bit of a shimmy after that run. He's earned that shimmy, no doubt about it. The second and very short.
I think so too. I think J.W. Doyle is entitled to at least half a shimmy too. Great lead block by Doyle there, and Wade and McDonaldson, the contract offensive lineman, getting upfield as well.
Oh, good spin. Tries a second spin. Doesn't work, but he does get at least the first down. Another opportunity for Beletsky to show his stuff. He does it there. New set for the Storm.
And by our measure, that puts Beletsky right at or around the 100-yard mark on just 14 carries. And couple that with his 39 receiving yards, and Beletsky is well over the century mark, at least in terms of all-purpose yardage.
Defensive line moves to the quarterback's right. Throw. Oh, and another one that nearly got picked off and taken back the other way. That was Saboka that had a shot at it and couldn't quite bring it in. 2nd and 10.
And you saw Cochran throwing with a Charleston defender right on him. And I wonder if that defender got a piece of that ball. That ball nearly intercepted. And had it been intercepted, Curtis, that would have been 6 points. There was nobody around to stop him.
Oh, yeah. No, he would have had green for days in front of him. 2nd and 10. Cochran, hand on. No, he gets... How? What? That's going to be towards the 2-yard line. Was that Cochran that kept that football and kept going?
Unbelievable. Yes, it was. Look at that. Managed to fight through the quarterback's sack and decided, you know what? I'll just do it myself. You can see the play action there.
Yeah.
And I can't see who that is. That's number 54 flinging off. That's Saboka. That is a large man to be flinging off your back at 6'5", 300 pounds. And Cochran, just a play away from making the end zone, but it's Florida 1st and goal.
Hello, Top 10 Plays. Caption Cochran judo throw to the 3-yard line. Got it. 1st and goal for the Storm. Split backs formation. It'll be a handoff to Beletsky, and he gets in. That's a touchdown for Florida, and man, did they earn that. Beletsky has a score to put the Storm up by 2 scores again.
There it is again. J.W. Doyle leading the way for Beletsky. Nobody touches him until he gets to the goal line. And Florida starting to run away with this thing, Curtis. This will be an 11-point lead if Ethan Snead puts this through the uprights. And if you're Charleston right now, you got to be thinking that your good defense is just not good enough. You're a turnover away, maybe 2 turnovers and a stop away from getting to where you need to be in this game.
Ron Cochran on the sideline mic'd up says, "Where's the wheelchair?" That sounds about right. Kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. So 17-6, an 11-point lead for the Storm over Charleston after a crazy turn of events in that particular offensive drive for the Storm.
Ron Cochran, he was doing plenty with his arm. 15-24 for 142 yards. Does have the 2 interceptions, but doing it there with his legs, that is just fantastic. Almost beyond superlative, Curtis. I'm still amazed at what I just saw.
Just inside the end zone, returnable. On the kickoff, it'll be back to about the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for Charleston. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No prior experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found at our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. SFLM starting up here in a very short amount of time for season number 3. And we're definitely going to be looking to fill ranks for the broadcast staff for that league as well. Drew over the middle on 1st down. He's going to get a 1st and 10 again. New set to the 33 as that'll find his target over the middle of the field.
Great catch for Buchanan Simons. And just a point about your, our need for broadcasters at this point, Curtis. It wasn't months ago where you tried me out and I was a nervous wreck and somehow was able to enunciate the names of the players that you gave me. And if you're watching this and you're on the fence about it, give it a shot. Go in there, take your cuts. Curtis won't bite you too hard.
No, not too hard. Not too hard. Unless asked. And that's going to be to the left and caught. 4-yard completion to the 37-yard line. That is Ken McCarro, his 4th catch on 5 targets. And first time we've seen him in a little bit. So 2nd and 6 as the Predators on offense trying to get back into this one. They're not out of reach just yet. A touchdown makes this a game again. At their own 37, handoff Swearingen. Going to try to bust it through the middle. He's going to be close, but did not get the 1st down. That was very close. 3rd and inches on that side, and they're in danger, Josh, of going a 3 and out again. They're going to try to avoid that on this 3rd and short.
And that'd be kind of tragic because it looks like this offense is finally cooking. You're near midfield. You're getting some passes. Swearingen running, and that, as you said, very close to a first down. You need to punch it in here. Don't get fancy.
25% on 3rd down so far in this game. They're 2 for 8. Trying to make it 3 for 9. It's through the middle. Swearingen has it. That is indeed a first down. It's exactly what they needed. 1st and 10.
And that is a big conversion. And that's where I would say the separation is occurring between Charleston and Florida. Florida, 58% on 3rd down for the season. Charleston, 40%. Almost a 3-to-2 ratio difference there. But Charleston gets it there when it counts.
Drew sees something at the line. He's calling something out. 4 on the defensive line. Handoff. Swearingen going to try to cut it outside. He does have a little bit of room, and he's going to get a couple of yards. 2nd and 7. Good job by the defensive tackle chasing him but from behind to knock him down.
Yeah, that was really an impressive rundown. That was Deontay White, the non-contract defensive tackle, and that is a large gentleman at 6'7", 312 pounds, to be running toe-to-toe with your running back and bringing him down. And a good thing, because if Florida doesn't tackle him there, Swearingen's off for a big gain.
2nd and 7. Hand off Swearingen again. He's going to try to go left this time, and again, the defensive line for Florida stands up and keeps him where he is for the most part. 3rd and 6. It's still manageable at 3rd and 6, so we'll call it 3rd and medium. Try to get them possibly even 4 for 10 in the 3rd down category today.
And TD Drew has not put the ball in the air very much since we saw him down on the other side of the field, Curtis, when they kicked that first field goal. I wonder if we'll see that here.
To the left. He will have a play action. Throw right side. That one's caught. First down and more inside the 42. That is 1st and 10 for the Predators, and they're starting to move the ball in Florida territory. It's Jay Taylor.
And Jay Taylor feels special and thought about. This is a guy who's usually blocking, not catching balls. But right now, he and Lyric Da Vinci tied with 3 catches apiece. And that was as big a one as we'll see from Jay so far. Moving the chains here, keeping this crucial drive alive.
3 and 44 in a very quick moving game in Charleston. 7-step drop for Drew. Wings it deep over the middle of the field. It's caught. 1st and 10 inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and they're getting closer. This is their first real mechanical drive of the day.
And Buchanan Simon's making a beautiful catch of traffic over the middle of the field. And Drew, with a beautiful drop back, has to adjust a little bit. And Simons, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue jerseys around him. Not a great thrown ball. Simons goes up and gets it. What a huge gain for Charleston, knocking on the door in the red zone.
1st and 10 at the 19. Big drive for Charleston. They really need points of some kind out of this. Under center is going to be TD Drew. Swearingen's in the backfield. Handoff. Swearingen got some room to go. Breaks a tackle. Gets to 2nd and 8 at the 17-yard line. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more that help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the SFL. Back to it. Swearingen, the deep back on a 2nd and 8. 4 on the defensive line, plenty in coverage. And it will be a throw. Over the middle. That one's caught towards the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for Charleston as they have it close. Ken Maccaro, another grab over the middle.
Maccaro, a great catch. This is another. These are high leverage, high difficulty catches. He knows he's going to take a shot there, and he does. Boom. Right there. Maccaro hangs onto the ball, and it's 1st and goal, Charleston.
1st and not a lot. 2 yards to go. Do they give it to Swearingen? He's been good in short yardage situations.
The way they're throwing the ball, I would not be opposed to looking for Buchanan Simons.
Your center, Drew, handoff. Swearingen trying to get there. He's going to be short. 2nd and goal to the 1-yard line.
And we've seen good play balance out of Charleston so far. 22 pass attempts, 20 carries. Really not tipping their hand in terms of what they would do at one point or another. 2nd and goal here. I would love to see them throw the ball at least once. TD Drew, having a great game so far. And this is a set that you could realistically throw out of, Curtis.
You absolutely can. We've seen it on a couple of different occasions. Goal line defense set up for Florida. Handoff. Swearingen going to try to get through. Good open field tackle. Stops him where he sits. He's going to lose a yard. 3rd and goal. And a huge stop by the Florida defense on that 2nd down.
Hughes, the rookie, who's not seen a lot of had his name called very often this season, coming up with a big tackle there on 2nd down and goal.
He had 2 tackles last week in the win. Try to get something going. This will be a handoff. Swearingen gets stopped again at the 2-yard line. 4th and goal. This time is another stop. This one for Eric Hammer, dropping the hammer onto Swearingen, and a field goal coming for the Predators. Another shot for the field goal
But that's
kicker.
really a missed opportunity. 3 runs by Swearingen, all 3 going short.
This will be the right from the right hash, up and through. So 19 yards gets them 3 points. They get it back to an 8-point game, 17-9. Florida over Charleston at this point in the 3rd quarter. Not much left in it. So kick up coming pretty quick here. As Florida going to get the ball back one more time, trying to make things happen. Up and gone. It'll be returnable for Jeff. Nope, actually not quite. Jeff Como will be in the back of the end zone. He will drop down to a knee and take the touchback in an 8-point game. But Florida in a good spot. Great defensive line stand for the Florida Storm defense as they hold the Predators to a field goal. And now have the chance to go back up what ends up being into a 2-score window. As they're up 8 right now, it already requires a touchdown and an extra point to get back to them.
And Beletsky with 103 yards right now and a chance to close this game out with less than 12 minutes to play.
Throws over the middle. That one's a nice catch and a nice spin as well. What an acrobatic feat over the middle of the field, 1st and 10. How about that from Stephen Bush?
And Stephen Bush, whose name we've not called very much today, making a huge catch to get this drive going. I was thinking they might try and close this game out, run out some clock. No, they're looking for more yardage, more points. And Stephen Bush getting them on their way to another Florida score.
1st and 10. Cochran in the split backs from the 44-yard line. 5-step drop, looks, throws, right side, that is Beletsky. Beletsky breaks through 1. He's down the sideline, 1st down and more to the 43-yard line, and it gets to 1st and 10, and that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 17-9, Florida up by 8 on the Predators, and they have the football. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. You're going to stay right there. Back inside Charleston, South Carolina, Chris Curtis, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth at the 43-yard line in Charleston territory. Florida moving the ball through the left side, and Beletsky goes nowhere. Not happening on that play. They're going to lose 2 yards, and Charleston, I think, has officially bottled up Beletsky and his miracle work that he had in the first half.
And Curtis, that's the real misstep that we've seen by Beletsky in terms of bouncing between holes. He's done such a masterful job of it there. But Josh Reese came down from the safety position to clog everything up, and Beletsky takes a rare TFL.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. 1 to the right is Stephen Bush. Handoff Beletsky. He's going to try to worm his way through and gets between the tackles for 5 yards. Make it 3rd and 7. That'll make it much more manageable. He's at the 116 mark on a pretty good day, all told, with his good effort in the first half.
Yeah, he's really been the catalyst for this Florida offense, but Charleston coming alive at just the right time at the defensive side of the ball. They're on the cusp of keeping Florida out of field goal range.
Looking to throw. 3-step drop. That one's caught. 1st and 10 out to the 27-yard line. Gets Florida a new set of downs, and they are in field goal range to go with it. Visit the all-new SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmet, and comprehensive history of the SFL are also there. It's over 1,400 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. 17-9 game, Florida trying to ice this game if they can. Still plenty of time, though. 3 at the bottom of your screen to Cochran's right. Cochran, quick drop, thrown on the out, picked off! Back the other way goes Charleston at the 27-yard line. Cochran's 3rd pick today. How about it, Charleston's turnover differential?
And John Stamango, again, who remember had the pick 6 last week, and he's watching the quarterback the whole way, lets one receiver go by, and steps up to face the second. The ball's right in his lap. Tremendous play by the rookie, John Stamango.
All right, so now Charleston has the means of which to do some damage. They start this drive at the 27-yard line. They could really use some points here to get it back to within a touchdown. Thrown on the sidearm. That one is incomplete. Just past the open man downfield. Jay Taylor, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Taylor's had his number called a lot, and you can see why. You're kind of surprised that Florida would let him go upfield with as much impunity as they did there. And I don't know if that was a accuracy issue from Drew or if Taylor was just in the wrong spot, but that is a hugely missed opportunity for Charleston.
2nd and 10. Still plenty of time, though. Swearingen is in the backfield. 2 to the right for TD Drew. 4 on the defensive line. Has the football. Looks, throws short, trying to just check it down. And that goes absolutely nowhere. They're going to lose yardage on that play, believe it or not, as nothing that they can do to make that a positive experience. It'll be 3rd and 12.
And again, Florida giving the receivers a large cushion, probably 7 or 8 yards, but for the receivers, and to lose yardage on a catch by Da Vinci like that, that's pretty suspicious effort there.
2 to the right again. Drew has the football. Looks, throws right side. That one's caught. Not able to turn it upfield as the receiver. And 3 and out. Baccaro with the grab, but not with the fancy footwork. And it is going to be another punt coming for Charleston.
And that's putting a lot on Ken Baccaro to be able to catch that out route and then count on him turning upfield with a ball that could have been better delivered by TD Drew. Really unfortunate that Charleston will put themselves in that situation here, and now they're punting again, and the clock is not their friend at this point, Curtis.
That's what I was going to say, too, is if he does a better job leading his receiver there, he might be able to get downfield a little bit further. Punt upcoming, end over end. It's going to go over the logo. It'll get caught at about the 36-yard line, and it's returned not much further than that. 1st and 10 for the Storm as they have another shot, Jeff Como does in company, to get themselves away from this very pesky Charleston defense.
And now this being a 1-score game, I mean, you're only up 8 at this point. You've been running the ball fairly well. Ron Cochran does have the 2 interceptions, but generally speaking has been accurate so far. I don't think that it's quite time to put Beletsky in a closer role just yet.
This will be a free play. It looks like that's over the middle. They're going to say this is a catch. That's a crazy catch through traffic for Jeff Como, but it may be all for naught. We'll see if they take the first down or if they try to take the penalty.
It looked like the defense jumped on that. I think they're going to let this play stand.
Yep, and they will indeed decline the penalty, so they'll take the first down and get to work just past that. Como gets the catch, and it's a nice one at that as he adds to his totals. It's a 17-9 game, Florida on top. Chris Curtis, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth. A couple of Predators, Allen from the Predators, and then Jack Brown from the Predators in the stats truck as well with us, keeping everything honest. Split backs formation for the Storm. Cochran has the football. Handoff Beletsky, going to try to spin through. He's going to get dragged down just past, but there is a flag on the play. Might be a holding call coming to the Storm offense.
When's the last time you saw back-to-back penalties in an SFL game, Curtis?
Oh, they're going to call clipping instead. All right. So a clipping penalty on that as well. The Predators will accept it, and that puts the Storm back a little bit on their back heels.
Joseph Wade beside himself. His team's trying to close out a game. The rookie center is just trying to do his job. Winds up costing his team some yardage there with that penalty.
That's the problem. 17-9. First and 23 as they're backed way up. 3 bunch to the left for Cochran. Has the football. 3-step drop. Moves up in the pocket. He's going to get taken down. Charleston making an example of Cochran on the defensive play. 4-yard loss. Make it 2nd and long.
And Saboka, the third-year man who's already making himself a legend. 7 sacks on the season. 18 TFL. And gets a big play there, trying to keep his team in this game.
A bit of karma for Cochran, who upended Saboka earlier on the attempted sack before he ran it to the 2. Saboka gets his revenge. Split backs formation, Cochran under center. Has the football. 3-step drop right side. That's caught. Tries to turn it upfield. Does. It'll be a 3rd and still very long. 3rd and 18 for the Storm as Jeff Como comes up with that grab.
And I think you look at this Charleston defense and what they've been doing for nearly 3.5 quarters. I think generally speaking, you got to be really pleased with your effort. You've gotten 2 interceptions off a quarterback that doesn't really turn the ball over. You've had a fair effort against Beletsky after a really shaky first quarter, but the job's not done yet. You need a big stop here on 3rd and long.
Going to throw. Puts a nice screen pass out on a crossing pattern and a massive hit. Just shy of midfield on Eric Minson from the defender is going to put them into his pocket, make it a 3 and out, and the Storm will punt and gives Charleston back the football.
And Josh Reese welcoming Minson to Charleston formally there on that hit. That was tremendous. And now Charleston, a chance to get the ball back. TD Drew will have about 6 minutes to do something with this, get down the field, score, and get a 2-point conversion just for the tie. It's a tall order, but certainly very doable.
So bounce the goal line into the end zone at the 20-yard line. So that's where Charleston will start this next drive. Next week on For the Fans, coverage of the SFL starts at 12:30 Eastern. It's a pair of Easter Sunday matchups. London travels to Fort Worth, and Las Vegas visits St. Louis in a major matchup for all 4 teams. The SFL on For the Fans, we put the fan in fantasy. Ready to go with Charleston's biggest drive of the afternoon. 1st and 10, Drew is in the gun. Swearingen to his left, looks to throw, backs it up, wings it deep over the middle of the field. That one's caught just shy of midfield. 1st and 10 to the 46. Ken McCarro puts himself in the seam and makes a play.
And McCarro running a great route. Once again, Charleston's receivers doing dirty work over the middle of the field. And you can see the cushion that he is getting from that Florida defender. And then he has to run half the field just to make the play. That's number 20, Andrew Francis. Andrew Francis is not the flash. You've got to play tighter coverage with the game on the line.
1st and 10. Looks like there was an attempted help over the top, but just did not quite get there in time. Good work from McCarro. Great route. 1st and 10. Defensive line moves to the right. Drew in the gun. Has the football. Handoff. Swearingen on the draw. He's going to get some yardage going forward, and he gets absolutely bulldozed towards the first down marker. Ends up being a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4.
It was a 6-yard gain, but it looked like a 15-yard run. He ran right, cut across the middle of the field, ran left. It probably would have had more chance to run if Florida hadn't shoved him down into plus territory. But as it stands, Charleston starting to cook here on offense.
2nd and 4. It's about the right time to do it. Handoff. Swearingen trying to go off tackle. Breaks through 1 tackle and does not break through 7 as he had Storm defenders all over the place. 3rd and 2. And this becomes a massive 3rd down in the grand scheme of this game and also the playoff race.
Absolutely. You saw Fred Dukes, the guard, trying to pull it, trying to get Swearingen outside. Swearingen outran his block, and Dukes had nowhere to go, was ineffective there. And now it's 3rd and 2. The playbook is wide open, but you do need to convert here if you're Charleston.
The fans at their back. Charleston trying to move the chains on 3rd down. Right side. That one's caught. 1st and 10. Charleston moves the chains again to the 41-yard line. Buchanan Simons one more time with a clutch catch.
And Simons on the out route. Man, that was one of the easiest catches he's made today. Nobody around him. Manages to get out of bounds, preserve time, and preserve this drive, Curtis. Charleston looking to drive down the field here. They need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to tie.
And the faster they get the touchdown, they might have a shot in the gun. TD Drew. 1st and 10 at the 41. Drops it back. Moves up in the pocket. He's hit as he threw. Got rid of the football. It'll be 2nd and 10, and they'll huddle back up while we send it back to SFL HQ in Cameron Irvine.
Thanks, Curtis. Gerald, a disaster series of events for Carolina. This field goal from Carolina was blocked, and Jacksonville maintains a 21-point lead. Let's go back to Curtis and Josh in Charleston.
And already in formation, 2nd and 10. Charleston, TD Drew. Put the floater over the middle. That one's going to be caught. Not much to it, but it's effective. 3rd and 1 gets them into field goal range at the very least. However, they're not looking at that. Jay Taylor with another grab.
And Taylor, and this is one of the nice things about running those 2 tight end sets, Curtis, is that you could send your tight ends out into coverage. You see Da Vinci there, and Da Vinci, I don't know if he was setting a pick for Taylor or if Taylor ran in front of the ball that was Da Vinci was supposed to catch. But either way, as it stands, it's a big gain, and now 3rd and short for Charleston. A good opportunity here to convert.
That was Taylor's 5th catch of the day. 3rd and 1 as mentioned at the 32-yard line. Swearingen's the deep back. Gonna go his direction. Gonna try to get there. He's not gonna do it. 4th and inches and decision time here for Charleston as they stare blank in the face at a potential, comeback attempt being thwarted.
And we've seen Florida's front 3 step up in short yardage, and they do it again here. Swearingen needed 2 yards. He got 1.8, it looked like. And it looks like Charleston's going to go ahead and kick the field goal, Curtis.
They've got a little bit of time and 3 timeouts, so it's not a terrible play in my eyes. I would have preferred they go for it, but either way, this will be a field goal that's about 49 yards long. Kick up and on the way from Amanda Moyer. She's been good so far and adds another one to her belt. Good work from Moyer, getting it back to a 5-point game.
And that kick had plenty of leg on it. That's a tremendous kick by Moyer in a clutch situation. And as it stands now, it is a 5-point game. Charleston still needs a touchdown, but as you said, they have the time and the timeouts.
3:30 to go. And they're going to try the onside kick as well. We'll see if they get anything on it. It has to travel 10 yards. It does, and it's indeed brought in by Florida. So now Charleston's defense needs to step up. They've picked off Cochran 3 times in this game. They would love nothing more than to get another one from Cochran in this spot and give their offense a chance on the field. But I fully expect that Florida should be giving us all of Charlie Boletsky.
And Boletsky with only 17 carries on the game so far, I think would be relatively still fresh. Not a lot of volume for a premier running back, even for a rookie at this point.
Set I formation, handoff to J.W. Doyle. He's going to go forward and get nearly enough yards to get the first down. 2nd and 2 as he's going to work his way through the middle.
And that's not something we've seen a lot at this point. Running Doyle straight up the middle. Incredibly effective there. Boletsky fanning out to the left side as if he was going to go catch a pass, leaving a Doyle to run upfield for a big gain.
2nd and 2. Split backs for the Storm. Cochran under center, letting the time go down. Inch closer to that 2-minute warning. This will be Boletsky. First down and more. Gets taken down by 2 Predators shy of the 20 to the 22-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
And now Charleston will have to start thinking about using their timeouts either here or after the 2-minute warning. Florida doing a great job here within field goal range, as you noted. And they got a real chance to close out this game here.
They do. Split backs again. Tight offensive line, offensive formation. 4 on the defensive line. That's 7 in the box defensively. Continue to let the time go. They've been able to kill about 30 seconds the last 2 plays. Boletsky going to get forward 3 more yards to add to his belt. 2nd and 7 at the 19-yard line. They're in the red zone.
115 yards rushing on 19 attempts for Beletsky and had 52 receiving yards, and the receiving touchdown doesn't reach a 2-minute.
And 2-minute warning is upon us. A 17-12 game that could get worse for Charleston before it gets better. Stay with us on For the Fans. Inside Charleston, South Carolina, Florida trying to put this game away, and they have Charleston on skates right at the moment. 17-12, Chris Curtis, Josh Zirkle in the broadcast booth with you. In the split backs is Ron Cochran. Handoff, Beletsky trying to kill more time. He's got a first down and more. Broken tackles, and he's in. An unreal effort from Beletsky. He gets into the end zone, and that is going to put this game on ice.
And that is how you close out a game. Charlie, the Bullet Beletsky, who's been outstanding from start to finish in this game, following the block of the legend J.W. Doyle. Doyle gives up a big block right there, and Beletsky breaks a tackle to find his way into the end zone and basically guarantee Florida a win today.
Yeah, that's exactly what Florida needed. They needed to keep pace with Jacksonville, who are running roughshod over Carolina right at the moment. And that puts them in the driver's seat still in that division. They still hold the division lead as long as everything holds up in Jacksonville with the division records. So at least there's that. If you take another look at the Atlantic right now, that is up and good on the extra point, making it a 24-12 game as Florida doubling up on Charleston at the moment. So the Atlantic still in question, but it gets a little bit clearer, possibly depending on how this game ends and of how the Jacksonville game ends with the Storm still in front.
Yeah, an interesting situation next week with Florida facing San Diego.
Yeah,
that is and I'm not going to pretend to be a genius to know all the particulars of the SFL tie-breaking monolith, but as it stands right now, that is going to be that looks like a layup game, but that could be come back to bite them if they're in a tiebreaker situation.
The monolith dictates right now that a win for Florida, believe it or not, over San Diego next week, say they get it, would actually hurt their strength of victory, I should say. So that is a real weird anomaly in the SFL tie-breaking lore. 1st and 10 for Charleston as they try to work things out with a little less than 2 minutes still to go in this fourth quarter. TD Drew over the right side. That one is picked off. Back the other way, and things are starting to unravel for Charleston on offense. That is going to be returned to the 24-yard line, and Florida will have the ball back.
And that's Ryan Davidson, and I should say that is another great way to ice a game. With TD Drew trying to get some points and salvage something here. You see Maccaro cutting over the field. It's a 50-50 ball, and Charleston on the wrong end of the 50 there as Davidson actually gets a pretty decent return on this. And that just tells you a little bit about how Florida came to play today on both sides of the ball. They did a great job stuffing the run, keeping Swearigan to be a marginal factor in this game. And we haven't heard much from the secondary, but Ryan Davidson makes sure that he gets his name called at least once before this thing's over.
And the game against San Diego may be inconsequential next week for Florida. This is another one by Beletsky. He's got a first down and more. As if you take a look at the remaining schedule for Florida, they have San Diego, but then they have a potential winner-take-all matchup against Jacksonville. That could be for the division the way if things shake out a certain way. So things starting to get real tight in the playoff scenarios in really every division of the SFL.
I think if you're Florida, you've really got to love how your team is playing right now, number one, but also the quality of talent that you have. I think Cochran just, in my little minute experience in the SFL right now, might be the best quarterback that I've seen. And of course, Charlie Beletsky, the rookie there, as he takes a rare loss that we've seen today, has been outstanding. And what an amazing thing to have two clutch players like that in your offense when you're heading into a situation where these are basically playoff games as you wind down the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, it's been fun to see. Florida, I think, is going to be, at least record-wise, somewhere in the top 12 for the playoff seeding. But the big thing is whether they're going to take that division title along with them. 2nd and 11 for Florida. They're going to try to take more time away. And as timeouts are called, Beletsky through the middle, another broken tackle, gets his way all the way down to the 8-yard line, and Charleston has taken their last time out. Coming up on the SFL postgame update, we'll send you to bonus coverage of Jacksonville and Carolina. Looks like time will permit that. And then we'll go back to SFL Studios for Cameron Irvine and Gerald Giudice to break down the late window of games and preview the SFL action that's coming up on For the Fans and the Simulation Football Twitch. It's all coming up on the SFL postgame update. 3rd and 5. Florida going to try to add more. Beletsky is going to try to move forward, and he's going to get a yard and no further. Jack Brown, another stop. And that is going to finish this drive likely. I think they're going to maybe think about a field goal here. At this point, looks like that is the only thing that anybody's really waiting on with 1:09 to go.
I think that would be the merciful thing to do at this point, to trot out Ethan Sneed. And It looks like he's on the field right there. And obviously he's been reliable, and he has been another arrow in the quiver of the Florida offense, if you will, just his reliability. But it's great to see Florida.
24 yards out, kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through with no issues. So another notch in the belt for Ethan Sneed. He's got a couple today, and that puts it to a 27-12 game as they'll kick it off to Charleston for the last few plays of this one.
You see Ethan Sneed getting pumped up. He's ready to start celebrating. And why not? The way Florida has played here at this point is going to be a very short flight or bus ride. However, these Storm players prefer to travel back to Florida. And what a great game they've had. And, as the playoffs get closer, these are the kind of games you want to have. This is a good Charleston team. Let's be clear about that. And I think in terms of production, they've been very similar. But we've seen the difference here. Florida was great on 3rd down, and they were great in short yardage. And those are the only two situations I think Charleston really fell short in this game.
Shout out to DStark87 in the Twitch chat on FTF Next. Keep in mind, we are looking for broadcasters to fill those roles. So if you get into the Discord, we do have links to the broadcast application in the Discord. And I'm sure anybody in chat can point you towards that direction as well. Over the right side, that one is tipped and incomplete as TD Drew was trying to stat pad a little bit. Not going to happen as Ryan Davidson says no.
And Davidson had the pick earlier. And probably excited to see that he's still getting some action in his game. Very nearly come up with another one. Just a little too high over his reach there. And Drew trying to find Maccaro again, refusing to go gently into that good night. And Davidson does not seem to have any issue with that at all, Curtis.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line is where this one is. Still 42 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to make it we're going to make it as long as possible says Charleston. 4 on the defensive line for Florida. Looking to throw. TD Drew tries to move off the pocket, but gets taken down, and that will at least make the clock continue to go. Again, Charleston has no timeouts. Still 30 seconds left. They're going to get in the no huddle. To the right side. Caught, and that is going to be a couple yards going forward, but not much. 4th down upcoming, and out of bounds we go to, as Swearingen is not going to be able to get the job done there.
And Swearingen, I think, has had a really nice game. Has been probably the most consistent part of this game, with apologies to Jay Taylor, who really exploded, relatively speaking, for 4 catches, 31 yards. But there are some real bright spots in this Charleston offense. It just did not quite come together for them today.
Yeah, about 25% of his total season catches were today. Drew again. This one is caught. Tried to and found a seam on the left-hand side. And that's Taylor's 5th catch, speak of the devil, as he gets to the 27, but it will be a turnover on downs, and that should end this ball game.
Yeah, Jay Taylor, he popped off this week, and Da Vinci had his 11 catches last week. He was probably thinking it's my turn to get 11 catches. Didn't quite work out that way. Maverick Hughes, the rookie, another guy who's sometimes an afterthought in terms of the mass of talent on the Florida Storm defense, gets himself a tackle and the turnover on downs.
All right, so victory formation for Florida. They've earned the win. They move ahead and keep their first spot in the division rankings, regardless of what happens in Carolina with the Jacksonville game. And that is going to end this football game. As we get to the end here, Josh, who do you think lines you up for player of the game?
Well, I'm really impressed with Charlie Boletsky. I just think that start to finish, just an outstanding performance.
Yeah.
Got it done on the ground, had the touchdown through the air. And really, there were a lot of bright spots on the Florida offense. Ron Cochran, 21 of 31, did have the 2 picks, but also had 2 touchdowns. Very productive, did a great job of finding those receivers. And really, Curtis, more than anything else, taking advantage of what was in front of him. Charleston, I thought, played a great defense. Great defensive game today. Could have stood to have a little more pressure on the quarterback. Cochran, very impressive, but to me, it's Boletsky all the way.
Yeah, just south of 170 yards on the ground and the 2 touchdowns to go with it. So Boletsky, I think, would have to be the unanimous pick of the player of the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that at this point. And as we go into the last couple of weeks, we are really circling that matchup, week 12, between the Florida Storm and the Jacksonville Kings. At the moment, that looks to be, as it sits right now, for the Atlantic Division, depending on what happens next week.
Yeah, and it seems like every big game that we're talking about has Florida in it. We were talking about Florida, Vancouver last week, and it's going to be Florida and Jacksonville coming up. And this is really where the action is at right now in the SFL with this Florida Storm team. We mentioned, obviously, because of you got the great quarterback in Ron Cochran. You've got a great running back in Boletsky. But we have an outstanding defense. I mean, these guys were all over the place today. Ryan Davidson getting the interception late, and Dominguez, Stoneville, and Tamello. As great a front 3 as you will see in this league, as we watch the highlights of Boletsky running off with that outstanding touchdown run. I think just top to bottom, this is just an outstanding team.
Yeah, absolutely, and they look to make an impact late in this season and into the playoffs for season 16, as does 11 other teams that are going to be looking to do the exact same thing. We've got more football on the horizon. We're going to be sending you a bonus coverage here in just a moment between the Jacksonville Kings and the Carolina Skyhawks. The Skyhawks have made it a tighter game. However, it's still quite a bit out of hand, 37-17 as we sit right now. Player of the game coming up right now. As we see, it is going to be indeed Charlie Boletsky, just south of 170 on the ground. For Josh Circle and our statisticians, Alan, and as well as Jack Brown, and for producer Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I'm Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Charleston. We send you now to Carolina bonus coverage. It is going to be Stephen Hacker on the call.
Enough to get that first down, get tackled into first down territory, but that's great heads up play by Grayson Willis right there.
Now, and time to burn. We may just get right to 2-minute warning. Christensen doesn't have to snap the ball. He does. And a quick drop, fires over the middle. Pass is going to be incomplete. It's actually the backup quarterback, but we're going to hit the 2-minute warning regardless. Jacksonville up 37-17. Simulation Football League week action. Getting set to wrap up here. I'm Steven Hacker along with Wade Phillips. For the conclusion of this matchup, Jacksonville with the ball at the Carolina 29-yard line. Throw to the left side is caught for a 4-yard out of the running back.
And that used their second timeout, and now it's 3rd and 6. So, hey, they're trying to hold them, even though it's pretty much for pride at this point. Not a lot you can do as an offense to score 3 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. But, hey, there's always – you never know with the SFL, so anything can happen.
And if you're joining us on For the Fans, where you just saw the conclusion of the Charleston, Florida game, Florida won, now moving to 8-2 and clinching a playoff spot. You are joining us live from Carolina in another Atlantic Division matchup where Jacksonville, the number 2 seed right now as it sits in the division, has a 37-17 lead here at Carolina. Just trying to grind the clock out here to secure a victory and hoping to stay in this playoff hunt as you see Jacksonville in the formation. Jacksonville really capitalized on special teams play. They had a blocked field goal, a big kick return from Mike St. Green for a touchdown. They capitalized very, very greatly on turnovers from the defense, as Succo Lamano had 2 interceptions, further solidifying his lead on the SFL interception category, and very, very close to breaking the all-time record. Christian Christensen very much in control of this ballgame all game long, wouldn't you say, Wade?
I would definitely say that. He was just picking apart the defense, really having his way with every facet of the passing game, and even calling plays to make the running game stand out. And he's just been just a whole nother level today.
And another kneel. Gonna have to trot out the field goal unit here as there's not enough time remaining. No, they can kneel on it one more time. Yeah, and they should be able to wind it out, but they may have to take the field goal. We'll see how they elect to handle the clock there. But again, this is an Atlantic Division matchup, and Jacksonville, as it sits coming into this game, was the number 5 in the playoffs. Carolina was sitting at number 12, just right there on the cusp, but a loss here definitely makes playoff hopes that much harder. Now they're in the middle of they're in the thick of things as Jacksonville kneels on it one more time. You don't have to kneel on it anymore. They can just let the clock run out here. Jacksonville secures the victory. Going to move to 7-3 here on the season.
Yep, and that it helps their playoff causes, and really it just kind of reinforces what they want to do in their game plans, because they can take with what worked. They can kind of adjust their defense a little bit, use what the formations that worked in the situations, and they are looking pretty good.
Game wraps up. Jacksonville 37-17 on the road. Big win for the Kings. Come into Carolina's house and take this late season victory. Divisional matchup between the teams and helps their playoff hopes. Harish Prasad for Carolina, big day, 73 yards, had the touchdown. Really, though, Wade, it felt like a good defensive performance from the Jacksonville Kings, and then just the help of the special team. They just got all the splash. Everything just went right for Jacksonville today. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for Carolina.
Absolutely, that is picture perfect of some summation of this game. Carolina, when things went wrong, when it rains, it pours, and when Jacksonville got any sign of daylight, they absolutely grabbed it, whether it be a pick six, multiple interceptions, the return touchdown. They were taking any little miscue and really making Carolina pay for it, and they really did. Mike St. Green was a threat both catching the ball and in the return game. He had a few really great returns, as well as, and I have to say, Carolina's defense in the second half, mainly the fourth quarter, really came to play. Multiple sacks, multiple, splash plays, But unfortunately, in that first half, they just weren't able to really show that because Jacksonville's offense was on, scoring fast, whether that be defense or special teams, but just not enough chances in the first half to make an impact.
Yeah, plenty of big plays, highlight plays in this game that are going to be wrapped up in the post-game show with Commissioner Cameron Irvine as well as Gerald Giudice. Player of the game here, Wade, who do you think?
I've got to say Suko Lamano. Oh, Christian Christensen.
Great defensive effort by Suko Lamano, but Christian Christensen with that 114 QBR, the touchdown, and the 216 passing yards, only 4 incompletions is going to get him the player of the game. On For the Fans, we've been the Simulation Football League. I'm Stephen Hacker. He's Wade Phillips. Stay tuned for post-game and just after this commercial break.
Welcome to the SFL post-game update along with Gerald Giudice. I'm Cameron Irvine, and the FTF block has wrapped up a couple of Atlantic Division powerhouses flexing their muscles today, Gerald, as Florida and Jacksonville take care of business. Just offhand, which win was more impressive to you?
To me, Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I mean, all facets worked. I mean, you look at their first touchdown was Iggy Swift, and then Mike St. Green with a great return, and then you had the interception return for a touchdown. I just think Jacksonville's win was impressive. I mean, Florida really held Charleston down, but I think Jacksonville just looked the better of the two wins, in my opinion.
And Carolina and Charleston can no longer win the division because Florida has clinched a playoff spot, and they are 3 games ahead of those two teams. Now, Jacksonville can still win the division, but they're going to need to beat Florida in the last week. There could be some help in there as well. It's a mess. But Carolina and Charleston, both 5-5 now, fighting for wild card spots. Tough break for both those teams because you don't want to be in the 5-5 mess right now.
Oh, no, you don't. And we're talking off camera about Charleston's next game against, I believe it's Portland. That could be the game, the last half of this game, and that potentially the next game could be right there the season for Charleston. Keith Swearingen only had 28 touches but didn't get to the end zone. So, I mean, that's a big hurting there for Charleston. They only was able to get 4 field goals for the day.
And one of the 2 victories for Portland last year was against Charleston late in the season, and Charleston ended up not making the playoffs because they got upset. Portland beat Los Angeles yesterday, in week 9, and that's who Carolina has next, Los Angeles. So Carolina may be getting the better draw of the 2, even though LA is ahead 2 games on Portland. Well, coming up tonight on Twitch, on the FTF Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FTF Next, you can watch Louisiana and Denver. Louisiana trying to keep their very thin playoff hopes alive. Denver is the number 1 team in the SFL. On the SFL's Twitch channel, you've got Las Vegas, 5-4, taking on Sioux Falls, 3-6. But Sioux Falls has always had Vegas's number. They've beaten them twice in the playoffs. They're just a tough out, no matter what. Louisiana found that out last week. Las Vegas has won 3 in a row. Gerald, your quick thoughts in 60 seconds on the last 2 games of this Sunday of SFL action.
Las Vegas has a really good chance of solidifying their playoff spots with the win. Sioux Falls needs a win and a lot of help. As far as Louisiana, Denver, Louisiana is trying to somehow salvage maybe a 500 season. Denver really looking to put themselves really in the forefront of the first round bye and hopefully clinching the West.
We'll find out if there will be upsets on the horizon or if the favorites, just like here in today's second block, take care of business. Gerald, thanks for being here and hosting.
My pleasure.
Co-hosting with me here in the studios. And for all of us at SFL Nation, SFL Action continues on Twitch. And for our FTF audience, we'll see you for Easter Sunday, London, Fort Worth, Vegas, St. Louis. That's going to be a great couple of games. And we're out. This has been your SFL postgame update. Thanks for watching on For the Fans today. Good night, everybody.